Six o'clock, I'd like to call the meeting to order. Cindy, if we could have roll, please.
Shook.
Here.
Spar. Here. Barton.
Here.
Betteridge.
Here.
Morton.
Here.
Jones.
Here.
Opperly.
Here.
Thank you. We have a quorum.
Thank you. Has everybody had a chance to look at the minutes from May? I don't hear any amendments, so I hear a motion for approval.
Mr. Chairman, I move that we approve the minutes for May.
Second.
As stated.
Shook.
Yes.
Jones.
Yes.
Betteridge.
The same.
Thank you. Barton.
Yes.
Opperly.
Yes.
Spar.
Yes.
And Warren.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, the first case tonight is 13-07. Fred Schmidtko is requesting a variance for a building addition at 1310 West Birchwood, Zone I-2. The required side setback is 40 feet. Requested variance of 38'5" will allow a setback of 1'6". Fred, you want to stand up and have Arlene swear you in? Step up the podium.
Thank you.
Well, I didn't intend to be here so soon after, as you know, I was here for the variance to connect the dots here on our building. But I'm trying to make the best of a bad situation. Our builder ordered the trusses to go across, and they somehow or other got the cord wrong on them, so he had to reorder the trusses. So we were left with a whole bunch of trusses and no place to go with them. So we took a look at the building, and this area right here, where there's from the covered dock back, is approximately 60 feet. I believe it is 60 feet. And we wanted to put a addition there now, because it looked like about the only logical place we could go with the trusses to make the best of a bad situation. And that's why we're asking for the variance. I own the property on adjoining here, so we wanted to go as close to the property line as what you folks would allow us to do, and that's the reason for the variance. That's the reason for the my appearance back here again. The other addition is going quite nicely. It's progressing right on schedule. Should be done very shortly. Any questions?
You just own to the creek then? Or how far over then do you own?
Well, let's see here. It goes something like this. I can't quite reach it.
Okay.
Kind of draw an imaginary line from the creek on this side coming down, and
Okay.
in somewhat that kind of an angle is a pie shape that goes with it. And the property that's in the city is on this side, and that's a county area that we have. And I don't know, I hope that answered the question. Yeah. Is there any other questions that I can answer? Like I said, the project is basically, it's been an unplanned project. It's just trying to make the best of a bad situation. I believe you've been out and
Yes.
saw the, right now it's just kind of sloped down towards the creek. So it's really not any kind of use. So it should make it a, we should be able to do it. The only other thing we could possibly have done is tag onto the building coming this way, but we wanted to save as much ground there as we could in the event we want to do a future expansion, because these trusses just simply wouldn't work for that. They're a flat cord kind of made for a rubber roof. So
Anybody else on the board have any questions?
So what's the hardship that's going to be incurred here if we don't grant the variance?
The builder will eat about $12,000 worth of trusses. And again, like I said, you know, he can't cut the middle out of the cord, that's why they had to be remade, but he can cut them at any length we wanted, or that is allowed. That's why I said if, you know, we want to go as far over as what you folks will allow us to do, within reason, so that we could make as much use of that as what we could and try to help him out and mitigate the loss.
Well, you did mention to me when I was out there that you needed the additional storage for tires, and this
Yes.
would help for that.
It would definitely help us with additional storage for our product, for finished goods. We, again, this area up here that we've just, that we're in the process of building on is for factory floor. This area back here is a finished product warehouse. What it'll allow us to do is, you can see there's trailers that are back in here. We'll be able to get rid of some of those trailers by being able to utilize this part of the, or this addition for storage of finished product. As far as any additional employees that would be that would come from it, I would guesstimate we're probably going to have to add another material handler for sure.
That's good.
Because material handling becomes an issue. The longer and the wider the building becomes.
Creating jobs, right?
That's right.
Yes, sir.
There you
Creating
go.
jobs and needing storage.
Roger, how many other variances have been approved on this property? I can think of one. Was there two?
Two.
There was
Two previous.
Two previous
right,
variances.
Prior to this.
Yeah, and the bizarre thing about it is, in conjunction with this variance on this side, we actually found out we didn't need a variance for that, or for the last two variances, other than the fact that they're adjoining a non-conforming building. We thought that we were closer to the west side of the property, but we had it resurveyed, as a matter of fact, just recently after the fact, and found out that we're a whole lot closer to the east side property line than what we anticipated we were, by about 10 feet or so.
As it stands, if in 2 years he comes back to add on to the south end of that building, like he mentioned, he'd need a variance for that too, because it's too close on that southeast corner.
Our property is basically a pie shape,
Right.
and we're getting farther in towards the middle of the slice, I guess.
I guess the thing that may concern me, I appreciate what you're trying to do, but I'm not sure that a measurement mistake on the part of a contractor is really grounds to grant a variance based on the zoning code. So that's, I understand it'd help him out, but the variance goes with the property forever.
Right.
And like Roger just pointed out, if you guys do want to put an addition on the back there, it sounds like this is just something we're kind of doing. Wasn't really planned, whatever, and
It wasn't
I'm a
exactly
little hesitant.
planned at this time, but again, like I said, the 1,500 square feet that it'll give us will definitely help out in storage, and it'll help me be able to get rid of some of the congestion of the trailer parking. I know, Grant, when you came out, you were right in the middle of the traffic pattern.
It was congested out there, and this will eliminate some of those added trailers he had there and get rid of some of those older trailers, and it'll spruce up the property a little bit, I think.
So how much property do you own as far as, we're going to go to you own all the way over, then what is the true, if that parcel that's still in the county, how wide is that at that point at the corner?
Wow.
It's this piece right here, Mike. That's the
That's the
east
piece that's
property.
not-
That's the east line of it.
Okay, so so if you would annex that in, I mean, he'd have, the property then would be
I think I'd still have
close.
to have a
You
variance.
still
I
would
think
have
he would have
to,
still needed the variance.
still too close.
But it's all your land, right?
Correct.
Any other questions? Do I hear a motion?
Mr. Chairman, I would move to grant case number 13-07 under 1010 2C as stated.
I'll second.
Opperly,
Yes.
Barton,
Yes.
Betteridge,
Yes.
Jones.
Yes.
Shook,
No.
Spar,
Yes.
Warren.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Appreciate it. Good luck. Okay, case number 13-08, James Dean Corporation requesting a variance for a driveway at 100 Detroit Avenue, Zone B3. Required side setback is 10 foot. Requested variance of 9 foot will allow a setback of 1 foot. Tom, you want to step up and be sworn in?
Do you solemnly swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
I do.
So,
That's Jefferson up at the top, Tom.
Yeah, okay. So we are building a building right here now, which is an 8,000 square foot retail building, just started. And the variance we're talking about is on this line. Well, we're going to put in parking here. After this building is built, there will be a space for another building here for future use. What we'd like to do is put a road in here that goes around and exits onto our driveway at Jefferson, and then the traffic will go out onto Jefferson. It'll be a one-way road. As we are developing this land, a water detention basin will be here. This water will sheet off this property, and there will be a concrete flume that goes up pretty close to Jefferson and will run the water down to this detention basin. What we're proposing for this, if we take this road around here, there will be a 10-foot setback off of the line. We're just asking that you allow us to move it over 9 feet to help use this property. Because when this property is developed, there's going to be one of the problems is going to be parking. There's going to be, parking is going to be very tight. If we can use that additional land up to close to our lot line, and there's nothing over here except this ditch and the old railroad right away here. If we can use that, it'll allow us to put in another entire line of car parking along this edge. It'll be about 15 or 16 spaces. It'll also allow us to extend our equipment storage area that's fenced in out a little bit farther, so we'll be able to use that better. But so the hardship, one of the hardships is going to be lack of parking on that property, and this will allow us to gain some of that parking. If we are able to put that road in, and I'm not sure we'll put it in, we're not totally certain we'd put it in anyway, but we're pretty sure we will if we can get the variance. If we can't get the variance, we may not put it in. We may just extend our equipment storage area out farther. But so it would help us a lot if we could use that extra land closer. Just move our road closer to the drainage ditch that is along the railroad right of way.
Now, Tom, you mentioned when I was out there that semis have a hard time loading and unloading back there, and this would ease that.
They
could
do.
come around there, right?
Yeah, they do. There'll be semis that come in to service the avenue, kitchens and baths, and then this new building they're putting in. We will have to put a semi turnaround area in here if we do not put that road around. And so it would ease the traffic quite a bit if we could put that road around. And also, there would be some additional parking that would go with that.
Roger, what's the city, I mean, as far as these having driveways, adding driveways and traffic, I mean, what do we normally do on a site plan like that? If that would come in and they would be,
Craig would look at that on his part of the site plan review process.
does the city see an issue with the traffic dumping out right there, or
Well, there's a driveway
there anyway?
Yeah.
there, I'm right, it isn't there anyway, I mean, within, I don't know if that's 20 feet or 15.
Yeah, we're not putting in a new
Yeah.
access. We're
Right,
just
you're
gonna use that.
tying on to the existing. I'm just talking cars, I mean.
Right.
Tom, are you going to put any signage that notes it as essentially an exit only?
Yeah, that would be, do not enter from that end, and it would be one way. That's the plan. It'd be a 15-foot wide road, I think is what we're planning, plus the parking that would be adjacent to it.
On your new buildings, Tom, is the trucks going to unload in the back of the building or along the side?
Yes. Yeah, they would, because the new building sits right here. And
Right.
And the trucks, there's a door for this Sherwin-Williams. Sherwin-Williams is going to be right here. And there's a door for semis to back up to right here on this
Okay.
corner. So they would come in here, and that was a concern of Sherwin-Williams that we have a proper truck turnaround or some kind of an exit there.
I think the only thing, the plus here for variance is it's going against the
Existing
the
street.
existing waterway or ditch and a railroad, the old railroad right away. I just didn't know how the city was as far as just taking more traffic out.
Well, we wouldn't want a driveway every 75 feet up there, but since we're not creating a new access point or anything, it's there. It's just a matter of how they use it.
Potentially, I guess it would help Detroit Street.
Yeah.
Taking the semis in and out of Detroit Street along with all the parking, I think it would help alleviate that a little bit.
Well, the long-term plan for Detroit Street, of course, is the widening, so I don't think it would have significant impact there. Is site plan review required, you're right? So it would be a required site plan review by the superintendent of public works, so that it would have to have approval in order to proceed even with the variance.
Even with a variance, still has to go
That's
to
my
Craig.
understanding.
Oh, okay. That makes me feel better.
So,
And he did give 10 feet on the front side.
Right,
On
so-
Detroit for that future Detroit project.
That's right, him and Gene both did, didn't they? Didn't Gene Knapp too give some?
Yeah, oh, yeah.
yeah, so anyway.
Okay, that's fair trade.
I think you'd have to have a pretty significant volume of traffic, but it would, to make a difference, but it still would be subject to site plan review.
Okay. Does anybody else have any questions? Hear a motion?
Mr. Chairman, I move that we approve case 13-08 as stated.
I'll second that.
Jones,
Yes.
Shook,
Yes.
Spar,
Yes.
Barton,
Yes.
Opperly,
Yes.
Betteridge,
Yes.
and Warren.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Good luck on the next step.
Yep.
Roger,
Nothing.
Mr. Newhouse?
Nothing tonight, sir.
All right. Do I hear a motion for adjournment?
So moved.
Grant, motion.
Yeah.
And who's
I'll second that.
Thank you. Opperly,
Yes.
Barton,
Yes.
Fetteridge,
Yes.
Jones,
Yes.
Yes.
Spar,
Yes.
Warren.
Yes.
Thank you.